Live from the village in the sky, this is Soft Power Hour. Welcome everyone to the Church of Soft Power. My name is Siobhan and I am a co-founder of this lay-led church for the spirits of creativity, connection, care, and change. Soft Power Hour is our live stream service gathering every other Monday here on Soft Power TV for an hour of connection with our community, our breath, our bodies, and spirits. And I'm joined live tonight by my fellow co-founders, Flo, Midori, and Dr. Kiki, who will now tap us into the soft power frequency.
Welcome, everyone. Just inviting everyone to take an intentional breath, if you haven't yet today, just to connect with yourself, your body, wherever you're at, just breathing in, inhaling, being inspired tonight as we can gather and gather in the spirit of soft power and connecting with our own creativity and self-expression. And as we take this nice, deep, intentional breath, just wanting us to, feeling called to connect with our sacral center, our U center that we use in our soft power choir spaces. The U vowel is connected to this creative center. And as we've been seeing so much on the news these days of real, how can I say, not very creative ways of working through the problems in this world, and how we are really being called as creatives and artists to step into our soft power so that we can vision and dream together to build the worlds that we truly want to live in. And so just tapping into this power, if you wanted to place a hand on your creative center, your womb center, your sacral center, or any other part of your body that might be needing some extra tender touch at this moment, just inviting that as we breathe in together and exhale through an U. We'll do this 3 times, inviting us to do this in unison the first time, and the second and third time, feel free to wander, to harmonize, and express any other sounds that might help ground us into the present moment. So breathing in here together. And last time together. You are now tapped into the soft power frequency.
I don't think I can hear Mimi.
Hi,
There you go.
I'm here. Hi, everyone. I was just saying thank you, Siobhan and Dr. Kiki, for that intro. My name is Midori, and I'm a co-founder here at the Church of Soft Power. I'm here to give our oracle reading for the week. This is from Ashley Stinson's Energy Archaeology deck, working with the bone system. And the card pulled today is Transform. And the bone associated with that is the sphenoid, according to Ashley's system. So we're going to read from the book. It says, reflect on the past and dream of your future, but remember that straight ahead is your home. I think I'm gonna get really emotional reading this. Okay, so the sphenoid is defined anatomically here as the axis where it says the axis forms a pivot where the first cervical vertebra, the atlas, which carries, oh no, my God, this is wrong. Well, I honestly, transition. Okay, so I started accidentally reading transition. That's interesting. So I started reading transition, but I pulled transform. So I'm just going to move with it because obviously I think this is a message too. Transform and transition. So transition associated with I think the axis. The axis has a specialized form that allows the head to rotate side to side. This form includes the odontoid process or dens, the peg-like part of the vertebra that articulates with the atlas vertebra and around which the atlas rotates. Interesting. It's the axis. Okay, it says the axis is where you process energetic transition. The skull achieves the range of motion to look left or right, past or future at the second vertebra, and your ability to do this smoothly and gracefully is rooted in the energetic health of this single bone. Investing too much energy in clinging to the past, to the way things used to be, can cause the same energetic misalignment as too eagerly looking to the future. During times of transition, it is important to be present, to understand that you have the ability to hold reverence or grief for your past at the same time you hold excitement or trepidation for what is to come. You can be both and. This vertebra is meant to hold that energetic paradox with ease. Wisdom. Transition can be graceful. It can be full of ease. It can proceed as smoothly as the way you turn your head from side to side. Give yourself space to transition. Build your capacity for the flexibility that not knowing requires. When you have a sense of what is to come, but you have no physical evidence, allow yourself to be present with that. The unknown in between fertile void of the chrysalis is where you unbecome and become at the same time. Let go of the notion that times of transition have to be overwrought, difficult, or something to fear. There does not always have to be a breakdown before there's a breakthrough. Your bone, body, and energetic foundation support the building of new structures even as the old ones crumble, and you can be present in the beautiful chaos of the middle. Do not halt the progress of transition. You cannot stop the process midway through and expect to be pleased with what is before you. Reflect on the past and dream of your future, but remember that straight ahead is your home. Be present in this spaciousness. And it says, what transition am I embarking upon in the middle of or coming through at the moment? And I'm also going to read Transform, since that was also one that came through. And so it says, let it burn. Let it dissolve into ash so form can be reborn. You are lighting your own path. And I will leave that there for now. Passing it back to Siobhan. Oh, pass it to Flo.
Thank you, Soft Power Mothers. What's up, y'all? My name is Flo, and for today's movement practice, I'm going to be showing my first drag performance video that I did with Soft Power, Soft Power's Dragon Frequency show in January, starring my drag alter ego, Miss Cherry Wu. And so about the practice, it says 5 minute, 55 seconds to be exact. Qigong practice, which is Chinese energy work in traditional Chinese medicine. And this particular video is meant to be more activating, more fast-paced and energizing, and about 90% of the exercises are done standing up. However, you can accommodate to your comfort. If the practice is too fast and stimulating, you can be seated and just moving your spine slowly, intuitively, freely, fluidly. some seated cat-cows, joint rotations. You can also do a self-massage, focusing on the upper body, so head and neck, holding your neck, giving yourself a self-massage in the shoulders and clavicles, while releasing audible breaths and stimulating the voice, like what Dr. Kiki led us through earlier. And before we go into the Qigong practice with Miss Cherry Wu, I want to ground us in a breath practice before the video, and it's also a more activating breath to the body. I call this the dragon's breath, also known as the lion's breath in yoga. And this practice is meant to activate and release anger, grief, heaviness in the heart, any trapped emotions in the body. And so you might get emotional, you might get teary-eyed, but I just encourage that emotional release. All that is sacred. And then, as I say too, fuck the state, fuck ICE, fuck the pigs, fuck the cops, fuck white supremacy. May we stay grounded in our breath, in our bodies, and honor our rage and stay connected to our spirits, to the earth, and to each other. And so honoring the fierce dragon within each and all of us, that is our personal and our collective power. And so I will guide us in 3 dragon's breaths. So exhaling wherever you are, releasing any audible breaths, sending your breath down to your feet, to your toes, to the earth. And then slowly inhale, breathing in through your nose, filling your body up with this breath. Allow yourself to expand and extend your spine with this breath. And then on your exhale, open mouth, release your jaw and stick your tongue out. Yeah, release your inner heat, release any rage, anger, grief. 2 more times together. We're going to inhale, breathe in this breath of life. Exhale, let it all out. Feel free to place your hands on your heart. That's where I have mine. Anywhere in your body. Last time together. Breathe in your power. Exhale, release. And then wrap your arms around yourself for a butterfly self-hug. Give yourself a little self-massage here, just to calm and soothe the body. And now we're going to transition. And if you feel called to follow along with Miss Cherry Wu for a short Qigong energy practice, let's go. Please rise or do what you want to do. Hit it, Siobhan. Heaven to earth 5 times. Inhale, sweep your arms from earth to sky in the heavens. Exhale, bring down heaven to earth. Repeat 4 more times on your own. Parallel swings 15 times. Swing your arms forward. Loosen the joints. Exhale out the mouth. This is good for lymphatic drainage. Drain and release toxins and excess fluids in the body lymph nodes. get the blood and oxygen flowing. Move at your own pace. You can go fast, you can go slow. Listen to your body. Lightly shake and bounce. Arms up to the sky. Exhale out the mouth. Shake your legs. Shake your head. Shake that ass. Shake off stress, worries, doubts, and shame. Release and shake off fears and depression. Clear the energy, call your power back, shoot the arms out. Stay connected with your breath. Jump up and down, awaken the body, become alive again. Torso twist 15 times. Twist side to side. Exhale out the mouth. This is a light spinal twist and internal organ massage. Twisting is good for detoxification. Rinse, release, and repeat. Opening the doors of life 15 times. Swing your arms around your waist. Your hands will hit the hips and low back sacrum. Exhale out the mouth. The low back sacrum is where the Mingmen meridian point is located. This translates to the doors of life. Knock life into the hips and sacrum. Activate your life force energy, your creative and sexual power. Small shoulder circles backwards. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale and expand the circles using your elbows. Open the shoulder joints, chest, and heart. Connect the knuckles for rooster wings. Breathe into your shoulders. Expand your wings. Take up space. Open up to receive your blessings. Give yourself permission to play. Time to fly. Work, work, yes, work. Inhale, open your wings and spine. Look up towards the sky. Fly like a bird. Fly like a butterfly. Exhale, close your wings and round the spine. Go backwards and forwards. Time to throw some hands. Punches and kicks of fury to the U.S. empire, global imperialism, patriarchy, white supremacy, capitalism, and all forms of oppression. Turn up the heat. Express your anger. Make some noise. High kicks, high kicks. Punch, 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 punch. Alchemize your rage and grief into creation. Turn up the inner heat. Heal and create. Bring life to your dreams and visions. Make space for joy and play. Time to cool down. Come into tabletop position for spinal movement. Cat-cows, move your hips from side to side, spinal circles, be fluid. Come down to your belly. Inhale to lift your chest for cobra pose. Exhale, release. Inhale, repeat. Release any tension in your low back and your spine. Move like a snake. You can look left to right. Breathe into your spine. Final pose, come into child's pose. Rest your forehead, third eye to the ground. Plant your visions to the earth. Breathe, relax, and soften into your power.
Thank you, Cherry Woo, for that. That was part of our greater drag show, our first virtual drag show, Dragon Frequency. So if you want the full performance, you could check that out. And also definitely follow Flo's YouTube channel for more Qigong videos, or check out Movement Cafe playlist on Soft Power TV. That was really much needed. And now we're going to dip into a little meditation to come to stillness if that feels good. If you still feel like there's energy to move through your body, then continue doing that. But for those who would like to join me, I'm going to guide just a simple grounding meditation today. What I'm really feeling is the need to plug back in with the earth and just be in connection with all that the earth is connected to, which is everything, of course. But just really one powerful image in my head that I had today ahead of Soft Power Hour was just imagining all of us around the globe and our roots coming into the center, and just co-regulating or sharing breath and energy, and imagining it going and rooting all Indigenous people worldwide. And so knowing that we were all Indigenous at one point to our lands, those of us here in the US, outside of Indigenous people to Turtle Island, we are settlers. The four of us here are settlers. And what I've been really sitting with is how this era really feels like an important moment of choice of how we want to move forward and in relationship with the land and with the planet. And so if you haven't already, just inviting you to rest your eyes, bring your attention to the sound of your breath. I'm going to take 3 breaths together in your wise and loving spirit guides. And imagining these roots from your pelvic floor, or maybe from your limbs, reaching down and touching the networks. Continuing and exhaling anything you wish to remember. And with these sounds of the ocean waves, just imagining these salty waters, much like the ones we all swam in before we came to Earth. Imagining them evaporating anything that doesn't belong to you. Washing your feet or your hands or maybe your entire body. As roots go further and further into the earth's crystal core. And you know when it hits because almost immediately you feel this beautiful, life-giving energy radiate through your body, rising up through your limbs on the inhale, and just expanding, holding your whole being with love. Know that as you sit here intentionally in connection with one another, with the planet, you also have the power and the ability for your love and your intention to touch all Indigenous people worldwide and those committed to re-indigenization through their choices, stewardship, and the ways that we show up for all beings and life on Earth. Imagining the power of your heart beams sending directly to anyone you hold in your heart. To the Indigenous people of Turtle Island that have been labeled alien or undocumented, imagining their roots strengthening with your love, with the earth's love, holding us all. This is a tether that does not need to impact your nervous system if you do not wish for it to, but inviting you to send whatever it is with your heart, asking and calling on our collective spirits here tonight to send support and strength and protection over all those taking action for liberation. Sending through our hearts calming energy, spiritual nourishment to the people of Gaza. May their hunger be eased. To the children laboring worldwide, especially those in the Sudan and Congo. Those starving here, our neighbors. Trusting that this energy you're pouring in doesn't come from your own body, but comes from the abundant and infinite nourishment of Mother Earth. There is no shortage. As you rest here in this space, allow yourself to feel what's rising up within you. Notice what parts of your being feel alive and present, maybe even demanding of your attention. Thank you for being present here. Thank you for allowing yourself to believe in the impact of your focused intentions. And thank you for continuing to act beyond this moment in all of the spiritual and material ways that you have available to you. You can remain rooted here for the rest of this time, or imagine them returning back to your body and sealing in this purified energy, knowing that you can be connected with those, and you are, by the fact that you feel whatever it is you feel, witnessing what's happening in the world. You are inherently connected, and therefore you inherently have an ability to influence, alchemize, and nourish the rest of life on Earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Siobhan. That was much needed. I really appreciate all of the ways that you continue to guide us and lead us through these experiences to connect back to ourselves and remind us of the power that we have simply by tuning in and tuning into our own inner worlds and the emotions that we're feeling and giving us space to express those. For my offering tonight, I would like to share in more of a storytelling format. And tonight I felt called to share about my personal vocal practice and a testimony to the power of the voice. And the way that I'd like to express that is through sharing something that I've been in the process of writing since October of 2022. And it will be published as part of a larger project later on in October of this year. So the larger story that I share in this book is about my journey as a transracial Filipino adoptee trying to find belonging and home in choral music education, but eventually realizing that the traditional choral curriculum was falling flat and would never feel like home because of the prioritization of Western European music traditions and the ways those traditions perpetuate colonial values. So in my conclusion of this chapter, I share my vision for choral music, and I would like to share directly from that writing with you now. My vision for a decolonized nervous system-informed choral music education focuses on the alignment of the mind, body, and spirit to support students' understanding and experience of the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and cultural aspects of singing and their relationship to their voice. The 5 main pillars of my teaching approach are embodiment practices to help students find alignment in the body, release physical tension and tightness, and connect to the emotions that are experienced in the body. 2, breathing techniques to educate students on the physical, emotional, and mental health benefits of connecting to their breath. 3, meditation, visualization, and storytelling to support and cultivate students' creative imagination, inner emotional worlds, mindfulness, and listening skills. 3, repertory and mindful singing in choosing appropriate culturally relevant repertory and pedagogy that will guide students through mindful vocal techniques that connect them with the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and cultural singing experience. And 5, student-led projects that provide students opportunities to take the lead in their educational experience and explore topics meaningful to them. Although there's not a one-size-fits-all approach to creating nervous system-informed spaces, I believe these are all accessible and practical ways to support student safety and agency while connecting to the power of their unique voices. When I look at what the future may hold for the next generation, I believe it is crucial that we resource our students with a strong relationship with their multifaceted identities and voices. Current normalized practices in choral music, however, can be contradictory to this when hierarchical, patriarchal, and hostile power dynamics are in place. From my experience, rehearsal techniques that are dysregulating can exacerbate anxiety and trauma responses in students. In my process of decolonization and healing from my own anxiety and trauma, I have been reminded of how the voice and singing can help regulate the nervous system and support social, emotional, and mental health. Singing is not something that is only for those who can read music, have knowledge of Western European music practices, or dedicate their lives to performing. Rather, singing is every human's birthright and can be used to strengthen their relationship with their voice, provide tools for self-regulation, and build confidence in their complex identities. By creating nervous system-informed spaces, choral music educators have an opportunity to support future leaders, visionaries, and change makers by teaching practical and sustainable vocal practices that go beyond performing choral repertory with the intention of encouraging healthy identity formation and social, emotional, and mental health. And so in those 5 pillars that I mentioned, I can't help but see the teachings and offerings that we offer here at the Church of Soft Power. With co-founding mother Flo, we have our culturally relevant and ancestrally rooted embodiment practices and breath work. With mother Siobhan, we have opportunities to journey with trance meditation and visualization to embrace and explore deeper our inner worlds. With mother Midori, we alchemize through divination, intuition, and storytelling. With the Soft Power Choir and myself, it's my intention to share accessible sound healing and vocal practices for co-regulation. And with Tim McGraw, another team member, and the Soft Power team as a whole, we have now 3 full cohorts of folks creating and opting into co-creating alter ego drag shows as part of casting spells and breaking curses of white supremacy and colonial power. So when I share about the power of the voice, it is not only a tool for self-regulation, but it is a tool for creation, because my vision and dream for choral music education has actually come true in a more authentic and collaborative way through the relationships that I have made here at Soft Power. And today, more than ever, we're seeing the need for us all to step into our soft power and use our voices for justice and creative world building. So thank you for gathering with us tonight for co-regulation and to expand our capacity for imagining and transforming the worlds that we live in. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiki. Wow, tears in my eyes, because when I say that transition and transformation are the vibe right now, it's so true for the four of us here. And if you're joining us for the first time, definitely watch the first Soft Power Hour episode where we get a little more into our background and our connections. But this church was founded through a very organic, it was just organic in terms of us gathering online to sing together, to breathe, to dance, to move our body, to pull bars, each of us doing that in our own unique ways since 2020, 2021, and then joining together because we've been individually building up these paths and businesses and can't do it alone. One of the first things Midori said was that the message that she had for us was for her role was to help us stay in our lanes and to not have to duplicate everything, to practice decolonizing, to practice divesting from capitalism together. And that has meant how the pace that we move at in founding a church, that's meant in the choices that we make of how we want to share and how we show up, and how we communicate with one another and commit most of all to a real relationship, healing relationship dynamics through our relationships with one another. And it's gotten so real. It's changed our lives in like really, really big ways that I won't share all here, but if you stick around and pay attention, we do overshare a lot of what's going on in our lives. This is the one show where my goal was to not overshare. So yeah, this is the power. The Soft Power Hour really is like, one, it's a service to have y'all join in on the practices, and also it's the four of our commitment to and keep sharing our journeys, because we've been transforming, and many of you have been watching it for years now, and that's our commitment, is to keep doing this, keep showing up. And so with that said, I'm gonna throw on the song for tonight. This was a video that my son and I made today, and it was pretty quick how we did it, but it was really inspired by what the drag shows have supported me with, which is really committing to creating something with what I have, tempering my big imagination and expansive ideas into just something that can be shared, and a practice of sharing my art. So without further ado, here's a little video from my 6-year-old and I. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique and a swing hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum, and they charged the people $1.50 just to see them. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? Paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Hey farmer, put away the DDT now. Give me the spots on my apples, believe me, the birds and the bees. Please, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone?
Paved paradise, put up a parking lot. swim. And a big yellow taxi took away my old man. Don't you always seem to go, but you don't know what you got till it's gone. The paradise, put up a parking lot. I said, don't it always seem to go, but you don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Last one. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot.
One thing I learned about that song, if you haven't heard that song, it's by Joni Mitchell. She wrote it in the 60s, I believe. And what I learned about that song is that she wrote it looking out of a window in Honolulu, looking at the development on Oahu. So there's a little full circle there. If you know Dr. Kiki's story, if you know the 4 of our story, traveling last year. And yeah, that's just a little tidbit I learned. Thank you. The next video I'm going to share is our testimonial alter ego spotlight. This is a part of the show where we share the drag performances from past shows. We intuitively pick them. I mean, it's only our 3rd episode, so this one's intuitively selected, and it's starring Sapphrodite from the Church Kid Dropouts show. That show was really dedicated to breaking the curses of white supremacy on our lineages, especially through the church and the Christian church in the US. And so all of the performers shared something to the effect of our journeys and experiences with the church, and it took so many flavors. Highly recommend that show. And our next show is on June 22nd, and it's called Summer Lovin'. But Midori will share more about that later. Here we have Sapphrodite, and if you haven't heard, an alter ego is a character, identity, or aspect of self who's wanting to be loved and liberated through creative expression. And so this is Sapphrodite's performance.
When will I begin to live again? One day I'll fly
Leave all this to yesterday. What more could your love do for me? When will love be through with me? Why live life from dream to dream and dread the day when dreaming? As long as I stand to face the crowd, to know my name, to know its sound, it's good to be soft when they push you down. Oh God, turn me into flower. It always takes me. It's such a curse to be so hard. Shatter easily and can't pick up all those shards. It's the curse of losing yourself when the mirror takes you too far. Oh God, turn me into flower.
Thank you to Sapphrodite, wherever they may be at this moment. To close us out today, I'm going to pass it to Midori to share our upcoming gatherings and some other important news and invitations. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thanks, Mother Mimi.
I feel recalibrated. I was struggling a little bit today also. I'm really grateful for this space, and thank you for joining us. So a little recap. We are a virtual church, and our commitment is to provide opportunities to connect with our bodies, breath, and intuition. So majority of all our events are virtual. We meet Mondays in our Zoom sanctuary or on Soft Power Hour here every Monday. But we have a very, very special event coming up this Friday in Long Beach. It's an intimate one. It's called Holy Heavenly Hose. So if y'all are in the LA, Southern California area, it's going to be a really special event. This is produced by our creative producer, Nathaniel, the Empowered Coaching, as well as Tan. So it's going to be over 6 vendors. So there's really a beautiful mix of practitioners that are going to be there, from divination. Nico, who is one of our close friends, is doing an sensual experience, I think is like kind of what I've been feeling into for their offering. And then body work, a lot of body workers who are also doing some form of energy work or massage. And then Highly Human, Willa Ace, who was a founding mother, is going to be vending their sacred goods, their wearable spells, their most recent collection that hasn't even dropped on the website yet. So that's super exciting. All tickets are at sliding scale from $33 to $55, and all of the proceeds from those donations are going to be going to producing our future events and our drag shows. So very excited. If you're in the area, you can find the link. We'll put it in our the description, as well as if you hit with softpower.org/events, that's on our events calendar. And then next Monday, so this upcoming Monday, Soul Spark Activation, I'll be facilitating that. It's a little rebrand. Okay, it used to be called Art Alchemy, but we're changing it up. Same sort of flow per usual, which is divination practice, but starting with dropping into rest and divination and a creative expressive arts practice, as well as a sharing space for integration to connect with other community members. And then on June 22nd, we have our next virtual drag show called Summer Lovin'. And like Siobhan said, all of these drag shows are spells to break these curses of systemic oppression. This one is specifically focused on the curse of hyper individualistic love that fuels capitalism. So we have over 14 performers, and majority of a lot of them, at least half, are debuting their drag artistry for the first time. So tune into that. We'll be continuing to remind y'all as that comes up. But a very special opportunity for that event is that we are actually opening up sponsorship opportunities for to be featured as a sponsor on either specifically Summer Lovin' is our first foray into this, but we're also exploring sponsors for this show, Soft Power Hour, and we're really looking for values-aligned donors who want to be publicly recognized for their contributions to the Church of Soft Power, people who are really aligned to our values here, and really are interested in just contributing to our purpose of providing accessible, just accessible spaces for queer and trans artists to express themselves, to be held through the creative processes, to world build their own in their own communities. So that is available on our website right now to kind of see if that you'd be a fit. It's with softpower.org/donate. And there's a sponsorship section there with an application. All donations are tax deductible. So it is also a benefit of contributing to the church, and also just like being the bragging rights of being supporting our church for these times of transformation and transition. We're really here for the long run. We see it. We're not going anywhere. This is legacy work. And so every dollar counts, like even if it's not sponsoring us, because the qualification for sponsoring us is a threshold of $250. But every dollar counts because it helps support all of the work it takes to actually put this on every week to support our back end, our operational systems. So yeah, I will continue to share more about that sponsorship. I think it's a little bit of a stretch, to be totally honest with y'all. It's a little bit of a stretch for me to like start being more public about how we need to be resourced in order to continue doing this work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time to put into all of these things we're doing. And although we have a small but mighty team, it really does help for us to just know that that we're going to be resourced through the end of the year to continue doing what we're doing. So thank you for listening. I know that was a little rambly, but I'm working on it, and then we're just a work in progress here. So I'm going to close this out with a little prayer. And if you feel called, placing your hands in a prayer position or maybe over your heart space, taking a breath and dropping into our bodies. I'm feeling really attuned to like my third eye area, so maybe activating a space on the body that needs some love. Calling on the spirits of creativity, connection, care, and change, and the frequency of soft power to free all oppressed peoples everywhere. May there be divine intervention from all realms and timelines to uplift and support our well-being. From the folks in the Congo, Palestine, Sudan, all our trans and undocumented siblings, sex workers, and survivors. May they all be shown an abundance of care, nourishment, love, and protection. Make it so, Selah, and so it is.
Thank you all for joining us for Soft Power Hour. Make sure you follow and subscribe. We'll be back in 2 weeks. And check out our gatherings to RSVP for everything that Midori just shared. And last but not least, pose for the ancestors.